All right, let's talk about a game that basically just came out of nowhere and became one of Steam's latest co-op obsessions. It's called RV There Yet, and it's this wild story of chaotic road trips, kind of janky physics, and a totally unexpected success story that we're going to unpack right now.
But here's the thing. For every person I see raving about this game, you see a comment just like this one. Amazing concept, but barely works. And that right there perfectly captures the whole deal with this game. It's supposed to be incredibly fun, but at the same time, a lot of people are saying it's, well, fundamentally broken. So what's really going on here?
Because this is where it gets kind of crazy. While some players are busy pointing out all the bugs, the game has already shot past 100,000 concurrent players. I mean, that is a massive number for any indie game, let alone something that started out as a little game jam project. How does a buggy, unpolished game get that popular? Well, that's exactly what we're going to figure out.
Okay, so to really get why everyone's talking about this, we have to start with the basics. What actually is this game? Because on the surface, the goal sounds pretty simple.
So the premise is super straightforward. You and up to 3 of your friends are on a road trip that's gone horribly wrong. All you got to do is drive your busted RV through this dangerous place called Mabutts Valley and get back home. Sounds like a normal driving game, right? Well, not exactly.
The developers themselves actually said it best. This isn't really a game about driving from point A to point B. The RV, the vehicle itself, is the main character, and your real job is just to keep that thing and probably your friendships from completely falling apart along the way.
So, how did this little project just explode like this? It wasn't some huge marketing campaign or anything. It was more like a perfect storm of a few key ingredients.
First off, it was born from a game jam, so it has this raw, kind of unscripted indie vibe that people love. Second, the price is just ridiculously low. Third, streamers jumped on it almost immediately, showing off how chaotic and hilarious it is. And finally, all of that just created this massive word-of-mouth buzz that spread like wildfire.
And let's be real, that price point is absolutely crucial. At just under $8, there's almost no barrier to entry. For you and a few friends looking for something fun to do for a night, it's such an easy impulse buy. You don't have to convince everybody to drop $70 on some new AAA release. You just got to get them to chip in less than the cost of a pizza. Okay, so we know why it got so popular, but what's it actually like to play? Moment to moment. What happens when you and your friends finally pile into this thing?
Well, the goal might be to drive home, but the reality is pure, unfiltered chaos. I mean, one minute you're just trying to get over a bridge, and the next your engine is on fire, there's a bear ripping the door off, and your friend has accidentally winched the entire RV sideways off a cliff. Every single task just becomes this frantic, hilarious disaster.
And all that beautiful chaos comes from mechanics like these. You've got this wild, physics-based winching that's super hard to control. There's proximity voice chat, so if you're not near your friends, you can't hear them. You're trying to manage resources, do co-op repairs while everything is falling apart, grill frozen burgers for health, and yes, even smoke virtual cigarettes to keep your morale up. It's a lot.
Okay, for all the fun we're talking about, we have to address the other side of this, the barely works part of that quote from the beginning. Yeah, you can definitely tell this game started in a game jam, because technically, it's a bit of a mess. And here's the breakdown. People absolutely love the genuinely funny moments and the organic chaos that just happens. But they also criticize the super buggy physics, the fact that there's only one map, that the player roles feel unbalanced, and that items will just randomly glitch through the floor and disappear. It's like this amazing idea that's just being held back by a real lack of polish.
And this quote from Reddit user MigSolo really nails one of the key problems. If you've got 4 players, the driver has a job, and maybe one person navigating has a job. But the other 2, a lot of the time, they're just kind of sitting in the back with nothing to do. Especially since trying to walk around the RV while it's moving can make the physics just completely freak out.
So, given this massive, totally unexpected success and these very obvious technical issues, what's next? The good news is the developers have been really open about their plans. Since it launched, they've already been pushing out bug fixes. Coming up very soon, they're promising full controller support and getting it verified for the Steam Deck. And down the line, they're planning on adding stuff like achievements and more languages. The key thing here is they are actively working on it. They're trying to improve that core experience.
But what about new content? Like, are we going to get more maps? Well, the developer was pretty clear about this. It's possible, but it's not a guarantee. They said the game was really just meant to be this one single experience you finish in a night or two. So while they're listening, we probably shouldn't expect a ton of major updates just yet.
Which really brings us to the big final question. Can this messy, hilarious $8 game actually become a true co-op classic? It's got the fun factor, it definitely has the players, but it also has the bugs. Whether its chaotic charm is going to be enough to outweigh all the technical problems, well, only time and a whole lot of patches is going to tell.